It's Caleb.
It's Megan, and we're back with episode 7 of the #WHODIS podcast.
Meg, we've travelled far and wide to make this podcast happen, all the way up to the Gold Coast. Not too far though.
We've got the travel queen in front of us, and we're like, oh, travel to Gold Coast.
Yeah, no, we're overstaying massively. Well, at least I am. Yep. Speaking of the queen of travel, we have her on the podcast. Meg, run us through.
That's all right. We were lucky enough to pin her down for this one. So we've got Lauren here, and she's also known as Gypsy Lust on Instagram. So she's an avid explorer of the world. She's a travel blogger who actually taught herself how to photograph and curate her own content. She boasts an incredible 2.1 million followers on Instagram, and also recently started her own YouTube channel. And we can't forget about her amazing presets that can quite literally take your photos from 0 to 100, and that's because I've tried it myself. And besides living the dream, she's just a down-to-earth, fun, lovely girl who just loves to embrace life. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm blushing. Thanks for having me.
Lauren, so good to see you. I know you have specifically come to the Gold Coast for this podcast. I mean, it has nothing.
I traveled from Bali. I did 2 weeks isolation just to be here for this. So yeah,
love it.
I'm really excited.
Has absolutely nothing to do. Absolute coincidence that you're now a first-time auntie, and that all happened. But it was all about this podcast, wasn't it? So look, we've hinted already. We've got a lot to talk about. You've come from Bali.
Yep.
Your identical twin Ellie has just had her amazing little boy Bowie, which is really cool. You're an auntie for the first time.
I know.
What's that like?
It's weird. It's cool. Like it's just something I never experienced. Obviously, first time. But yeah, it's such an exciting time. I've never been around babies before, and I was always really scared of them. And when she first told me she was pregnant, I was like, oh, baby. Oh, interesting. This is going to be scary. And then so many people said to me, it'll just come naturally. Like when it's family, it just comes natural. And honestly, the moment that it happened, I was like, felt instantly comfortable. I like hold him and everything, and I've never feel that like, oh, fragile baby. So I'm just really excited. It's a whole new thing for me as well as her. So
wow. And you were actually in the room while Ellie was giving birth. Were you taking the photo?
Yeah, I was taking photos. I was videoing. I was the hands-on girl. Also at the same time as like watching my sister have a baby. So embracing like watching that. I was crying. It was so emotional. Then I'm like, wait, got to get the photos. It was like sometimes where I could see Alex was kind of like, I guess giving me the eye, like, would you please go away with that camera? And I'm like, I know she wants this.
Yeah.
You know,
so much pressure.
I know.
Yeah, so much.
You know, she's an Insta professional when she's making sure she hits those snaps right at the right time.
This is the banger content. I need to really perform.
I always wonder what like the doctors and nurses are thinking. Like, what the heck is she doing? Were they like that, or is it just?
It wasn't until after they're like, like even like each nurse or doctor were coming like, wow, you're really into like photography. I was like, yeah, you'd think so. At one point, I honestly had like 5 different cameras going, maybe even more, because I had the vlog cameras going. Then I had one for photos, another one for photos. But I was also filming. I had the film camera, I had the iPhone going. And I was like, oh, I've got so many cameras going, so like swinging off my arms.
Are you telling me you didn't Instagram live it?
Yeah. I was like, I should just go live, just not say anything to her and just flick it live.
Just go next to the bed. Ellie, say hi.
We're live. Everyone's watching. She'd be like, oh. Maybe not for a first baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I have watched someone do a live for a birth, and I was like, whoa. Like when like Ellie told me, she's like, oh, this girl's going live, you should check it out. And I was like, oh, I don't know, TMI.
That's intense.
And then I started watching, and I was like, it was like her 5th baby or something. But I was like, it's actually beautiful. Like I felt so in the moment there, and I was like, I can understand how other mums would really have like loved watching and sharing that experience, because it was such a calm and beautiful experience. Most people just think it's going to be this traumatic, crazy thing, but like it can be beautiful and really special.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So for everyone listening, we just filmed a podcast with Ellie just before this. So we're doing the back-to-back. So if we get tired halfway through, you know why. But we're talking about that exact thing, like the miracle the miracle of childbirth and pregnancy. Like I was talking earlier about like we've got the grass outside that we're looking at, we've got birds in the sky, but we take that for granted every day. And it's amazing how like childbirth kind of brings us back to like the
Nature.
reality, like, miracle, the
Yeah.
absolute crazy miracle of a baby growing inside of you and this human you have created, which is just so special.
It's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like throughout her experience, I learned so much about pregnancy and birth, and it's like I was so fascinated. Like afterwards, the midwife was explaining so much to me, like about like giving me a presentation of the placenta, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
like I've never really thought about all this. And I was like, this is so fascinating. Like humans are like incredible. Like, I mean, all animals are because they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you actually think about it, I'm like, we all came the same way. Like we've all come from that exact same process with our mums. So it's like, wow, you just don't even really think about it. And when you do, it's special.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I love it. Let's talk about the craziness. You use the word crazy. I'm going to use the word crazy in a different way. Now, the craziness of COVID and your kind of lifestyle and how you live. So you're famous being a travel blogger and obviously that's been impacted massively.
Yeah.
How you, I mean, obviously you're a first time auntie. Life is amazing. How are you kind of juggling the other side of things where things are a little bit slower on the your main kind of gig?
Yeah, well, it has been definitely challenging because we're so used to traveling majority of the year, and a lot of our jobs revolve around travel jobs. And then off the back of the travel jobs, we also just love to travel. So we might have a job somewhere and then straight from there we'll be like, okay, we're going to spend an extra 2 weeks here and go to these countries or go to something nearby and do our own thing. And literally this entire year, obviously this all started, like the whole COVID thing happened in March. The only place I've visited this year is Australia. So I came to Australia, to Western Australia in January. Then I came in February, and then the next month COVID hit. And I was like, all I've done is be in Bali or in Australia. So I haven't, it's the first year like I can remember that I haven't traveled. And it's so bizarre. But like apart from like work side, like personal as well, because we've taken it for granted how good we had it, that we could just travel to these places and explore the world and everything was so free. And this has really been like a wake up call to us, like, wow, like it can just stop and end with a click of the fingers. And like work wise, yeah, definitely taken a huge hit, but it's also been a reminder that you should be more diverse in your incomes, diverse in what you do. So we've now over the years transitioned to be quite lifestyle with our pages. So like when we started building our house in Bali 2 years ago, we started sharing a lot of that, and a lot of people really related with that. And that's kind of been something that took us from not just travel content, but also sharing more of our lives. So that was like building a house and living in Bali, getting a dog. So yeah, definitely realized that we need to that everyone should be diverse with what they're doing online, not rely so much on one income or one kind of style of content, I guess. So, and we're also really lucky to have our preset store. So in terms of like jobs and stuff, it's been a good reminder to like just relax a bit, have a bit more routine. It's something that I didn't have for so many years. I lacked routine because we were just up and going every other month. We couldn't plan in the future. So I was really missing that whole routine life of like having your gym, your day-to-day, being with your friends. And so that's been one thing that's been really good about not being able to travel. Like you don't feel like you're missing out on these opportunities, these jobs, these trips, and you just get to just take it easy and focus on family and friends and your health.
What was it like when you came back to quarantine for 2 weeks?
In the
How was
hotel
that?
isolation?
Yeah.
To be honest, I made the most of it, and I actually didn't have a bad experience. I went into it with like so much research. I went on this forum and I looked into all the different hotels and what was really going on, and I had freaked out over it. I remember calling my sister weeks out before it because I was always like, I'm going to be there for your birth. Then as it approached like a month until she was going to be giving birth, and I was like, oh, this quarantine thing is still going on and I don't think it's going anywhere. And I was like, I don't think I can do it, Elle. Like I'll go insane in that room for 2 weeks. And I could tell that she was disappointed. And when I like kind of stopped, like sat back and thought about it, I was like, no, this is really important to me and my sister. This quarantine thing's not going anywhere. Like suck it up, get a grip.
Stick it out.
You're going to do it. And then once I kind of changed my whole mindset about it, I really decided that I was like, I'm going to make the most of this. And so I went in with this, like, what can I do in there? And that's where I really launched getting into YouTube, doing lots of fitness and health, and then just sharing my day-to-day life over Instagram and everything. I think one of the most helpful things was having an audience, and everyone was so responsive to it. Like my audience, I think my views on my story doubled from like days after being in there, because everyone started catching on and being like, wow, this is so interesting. Like this girl's in a bedroom for 2 weeks. Let's watch what she's doing. And even when it came to like a couple of days out, I started getting the messages like, oh, I'm really excited for you to get out, but I'm also kind of sad because I really enjoyed watching your stories every day. I was like, oh, wow. Thank you, I guess. But I'm going to go back to real life.
I've always wanted to go to prison. I wonder what it's like. I better follow this Gypsy Lust.
I want to see what it's like.
Exactly.
No, but honestly, I made the most of it, kept so busy. Every day I was so busy with little projects, filming like workout videos or even just creating like content for my stories, that the days went so quickly. So I think having an audience was like my biggest, I guess, things I'm thankful for.
Yeah. Would you say that like that positive mindset and perspective is kind of like, do you get that from traveling?
Yeah, I guess so, because when you travel, like everyone that travels knows that it can be very stressful and exhausting. And when you're doing it for work as well, you're made to be really adaptive to the situation because it's quite unpredictable. Every day can be quite different. You don't know where you're going or like what your day is going to look like. So you have to deal with a lot of strange situations, and you have to make the most of them. So I think that makes you more resilient.
Yeah.
And then I think I've always had kind of a bit of a positive attitude about things. Like I like to see that I'm a bit more optimistic about situations. Like even if we are like off on a photo shoot and everything's going wrong, I'm still optimistic to be like, we can make something out of this. It's going to be good. It's like pouring rain, hurricane. It's going to be fine. The sun's going to come out. We're going to get a sunrise. Nah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love it. Well, look, talking about an audience, I mean, it's hard getting one of them, especially in the every man, woman, and their dog wants to, as your dog Oat lies on my foot under the table. What a cool champion. How did it happen? How did it all begin? Where you even grew an audience in such a crazy competitive niche?
Yeah. Well, when I grew an audience, it was right at the beginning. So this was back in 2013, 14 is where it kind of began. So it was never, like back then, as you probably know, it wasn't really a thing that people had big followings and made lots of money. So back then, if you started to have and a big following back then isn't what a big following is now. It was a lot smaller. And I just seen like beautiful travel images. All I ever wanted to do was travel during school. I was like, oh, when I'm in 5 years' time, I'll be living in Paris. And that was always how I visioned my life to go, was like living abroad. And as soon as I finished school and I got a job, it was just kind of saving money to try and go on the next trip. And then I started getting into taking pictures. I just loved the idea of like beautiful pictures and a beautiful Instagram. So when Instagram was quite new, and I was following a lot of repost pages like Earth Pics and those ones. And I remember seeing all the beautiful pictures around the world, and I was like, oh, I'm going to America in a couple of months. My biggest goal is to get reposted by like Earth Pics or one of those travel repost pages. And I didn't get reposted by them for my whole trip, but I was like, oh, my photos are so good. Why aren't they resharing them? Like now I look back and I'm like, oh, what was I thinking?
Oh, I would have loved to see your first pictures.
But so I had like a bit of a good camera. I started getting into editing, travel pictures. And then from there, it just like grew into an obsession where I was like, oh, I'm obsessed with photography, travel photos. And then I did a trip through America for a few months, trip through Asia. And then I came back from that Asia trip and moved up to Cairns and lived there for like over a year. And that's where the whole Instagram career really started for me. So I was still working as a dental assistant, and then literally any spare second that I got, it was like, okay, where can we go? Whether we're going to a waterfall, out to the reef, to an island, anywhere in that area, because it's such a beautiful area to explore, and it's like very beautiful. If you're traveling and like living in a place but you can't actually travel, I still felt like on the weekends I got to travel and create content, so it was exploring still. And then when I was living there, I had maybe like 15,000 followers. And then the local tourism contacted us and said, hey, like, we love your pictures and everything. We'd love to bring you along on this famil that we're holding, which was a trip where they were bringing people out to explore and create content as like a job. And I'd never even heard of this as being a thing. So they invited us along and said, everything will be covered. It'll be for 5 days. You're going to get to go in a helicopter, staying in these hotels, doing this. And you're just going to have to do some Instagram posts, and they're going to be videoing you and making a video of you guys exploring. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, this is crazy. Like, couldn't believe it. I was so excited. So I got the week off work, and then when I was on that trip, some of the people there were telling me that they were getting paid to be there. They're like, oh yeah, we get paid like a daily rate to be here and be posting on Instagram. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So my dream of making a career out of travel is like potential. So I didn't I didn't think of it as a career. It was a hobby. And I think that's like in the beginning for a lot of people I've talked to is what made you get there is because you were doing it out of passion, not out of I want to make money. And I think that's super important because it's not as easy as it looks to get started. Like now there's a lot more tools. You can do courses, you can buy presets, there's so much information online about doing that. But back then there was no information online. You couldn't do a course on how to become an Instagram or how to do photography the same way that you can today. So it was all self-taught and literally spent so much time, so many failures. But when you're like obsessed with something, you didn't care. You like enjoyed every second. So from there, it just kind of snowballed into more and more jobs. And then it got to the stage where like I wasn't making much money, but it was kind of on par with what I was making as a dental assistant. And I was like, I can see that it's enough to quit my job, and even if I don't save any money, I'm getting these experiences to travel. And that's all I was spending my work money on anyway. So I was like, it's a win-win.
Yeah. So when it comes to your socials, like Instagram's full of travel bloggers. Like someone will take a picture of the beach and be like, #travel. Yeah. So I guess what kind of sets you apart from everyone else that makes, I guess, your own blog like super unique, and I guess like it's so genuine, and like you said, it's your passion as well. But what sets you apart when you're like creating content and like getting the pic and stuff like that?
I think it does come down to experience. I feel like if you've been doing it for a long time, you kind of know what works. You know what looks good. Like if I look back at my old pictures, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? You learn how to be in a photo, like how to, I guess, model and look natural. You know, like you have good camera equipment, you know how to edit well. And I guess you just have a general eye for like the creative of like what is aesthetically pleasing like in this image. So that comes with experience. I didn't just like know it. So you've learnt it over the many years. So like I've been doing it for like 8 years, 7-8 years. So it's like, you've figured it out over these many years, like I hope. And you've kind of, I guess, set some trends as well and like made styles of what looks good. So back years and years ago, a big thing for us was our edits, like how we edited our photos. And the question was always, how do you guys edit your pictures? How do you get them to look like this? Because presets and all these apps weren't a thing. So people didn't understand how we could make our images look so unique. So if someone would be like, I was going down my explore page, I could straight away see when it's yours or Jack's picture. Straight away I knew it was yours by your edit. But that was like before presets were a thing. And that's why when we sold them, it was like such a huge business move for us to make. But yeah, I forgot what the question was.
Well, the good thing is you answered it. I'm going to give you another one. For every Insta boyfriend out there that is struggling, give three don'ts when it comes to taking photos.
Oh, for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, have patience.
Or for anyone.
Didn't even hesitate. She's like, right, let's go.
Okay, Jack, are you listening? Have patience. I think you have to have patience because if you are getting impatient and you're rushing them and you're like, oh yeah, like, okay, quickly one photo, you make them feel uncomfortable and awkward and they'll probably not like any of the pictures. If they're not feeling comfortable and confident and relaxed, they will look like that in their pictures. They'll probably look really tense and awkward. Another tip would be giving advice. Like if you can see like their tag hanging out or, you know, something doesn't look right, like, oh, don't stand like that. Like give a little bit of feedback to them.
I hate that when my boyfriend takes pictures of me and I look at it, I'm like, you didn't tell me like a ringlet was coming out the top of my head. Like, what's...
Did you not notice the hair or like the tagging? I didn't notice. I was like, really? Straight away him, I'm like, your hair, you're this, move your foot, do this.
Guys are just making sure that you're in the photo.
That's
if you're in the photo, then it's a successful job done.
Jack tells me, he's like, I'm just looking if the photo's straight. He's like, I'm just looking at all the background, everything's straight and right. And I'm like, can you look at how I look and where I am? Half the time my eyes are closed.
So good. Love it.
All right. So this segment's called Flight or Fright, and no secrets will be left untouched. So I hope you're ready for this one.
Okay.
We're going to fire some questions at you, and basically just to summarize some of your craziest traveling experiences, basically.
All right.
Okay, so the first question is, where would you actually avoid traveling to again?
It's hard to say because I've never been anywhere where I've been like, I'm not coming back here, but I've had some kind of bad experiences in places where I've been like, oh, not my favorite. I think one that comes to the top of my mind, well, two places, is Egypt and Morocco. So I've been back to Morocco multiple times and I love it. It's a beautiful place, but I think it's particularly Marrakesh for me. My first time I was there, we just had some bad experiences on the street with just the way they like hustle you and like come over here, and then if you don't go into their restaurant or you don't buy from their shop, it turned aggressive. And then also one thing that we found really crazy in Morocco is like a lot of the times if we got a camera out to take a picture, say out the front of a shop, they would come over and be like, give me money, like you need to pay for that photo, and you're like, what? It's just a photo in the street. And then they would turn really aggressive. But we learnt that from the first time. So every time that we've gone back since, we've been like, oh, it's not so bad. And I also wonder if a lot of people talking out about that has made them kind of realize maybe we shouldn't get so aggressive with people in the streets. Like they are tourists, they are bringing money. So that I wouldn't say I wouldn't go back, but it was like, yeah, it wasn't a pleasant experience. And then Egypt had a few moments like that as well, where it was just kind of frustrating. Like you get in a taxi, okay, we want to go to the market, and then you're like, you know where you're going, yeah. And then you're driving around and around, and then the sun's setting, you're in the taxi, and you're like, we should have been there an hour ago, and we're still sitting in this taxi. You know where you're going, and they just would tell you that they did because they wanted to get the job, but they didn't know where they're going. And you're like, oh, just take us back to the hotel. Don't worry about it. It's closed now.
Yeah, I remember being in Casablanca in Morocco and going through the old town village and having that hustle aspect on me. And I'm a young guy, man, and I could only imagine like how. Yeah, I can totally understand your story. Yeah. Okay, career highlight and career low light of traveling.
Okay, highlight for me is probably the time when I first started getting like some bigger brand deals that were like, you know, really like with some bigger brands that were really reputable, and like I think we were just growing really quickly, and they were, yeah, I guess long-term big partnerships that made me be like, wow, this is actually a thing. Because I'd come from a previous situation where I'd had some people close to me saying to me like, this is all going to end, like basically telling me it's a fairy tale little bubble that's going to pop any day now. And then everything was going so well, and like it was just becoming better and better. I was traveling, all these jobs coming at me, and I think that was the time where I was like, wow, like this is actually a career, and I've actually made this into a successful life. So I think that was probably the highlights. And then low light, I was in the media many years ago. Some people have probably heard of this. There was the whole copycat thing that went in the media. This girl basically went and replicated all of my pictures. She just was obsessed with the idea of like my pictures, and she went to the extreme of going to the location, wearing the exact same outfit, shooting the same picture, and just basically trying to make it as identical as possible without being me. What? And it went all, it got called out. I went online about it. She blocked me, so I put it all over my stories. It was when stories first started on Instagram, and then the mainstream media caught on to it, and it just went viral. So it was was like, at first it was like good because it was getting all this outside attention, but then I learnt like the evil side to the media, how they can just turn a story around and portray you to be a really bad person. They basically spun the story around to be that I made it all up and that I created it all for a media stunt. And then just the hate that you receive from mainstream media, like from people who then come to your page and were just like saying the worst things possible, just like, you're the scum of the earth, you should die, like you, like really horrible keyboard warrior kind of things.
Yeah.
And that was a really scary time for me because I was like, I've never experienced the media like this, and I can now see how manipulative it can be and how they can change a situation to look really bad. Like they made me look so bad and it was traumatic.
Wow. How many followers did you have around that time?
So when the whole like thing went into the media, I had like 300,000, and then after it finished I maybe grew like 200,000 or 300,000.
Oh wow.
So like in that terms,
the last laughs on them, I suppose.
Exactly.
In that aspect it was good, but at the time I was like, my partner was gaining as well, and it wasn't about him. Like he was obviously my partner, we were a travel couple, but he was like, this is amazing, like we're growing so many followers, and I'm there just crying like, I want this to end. So like in hindsight it was good in that aspect. Like still to this day people bring it up to me, I still get like a lot of questions about it. So like it was a pretty like big thing to happen online, like no one had ever seen anything about it. It was like top of the news on like Snapchat, like everyone was seeing it. It was like everyone had heard about it. It was just bizarre. Like it really is a bizarre thing. If you hadn't heard about it, look up the copycat story. You'll still find it everywhere. But yeah, traumatic.
How do you kind of like mentally deal with those things and like haters and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, okay. So dealing with like haters and trolls and all that kind of online stuff, it's definitely been a process of learning how to deal with it, like learning as an individual how you deal with these things. And like I've been maturing over the years and really learning a lot about myself and other people. So in the beginning, I really would fight back and take it really personally. There's still to this day some DMs that come in or some comments that I kind of go, oh, that was really mean. Like that kind of has triggered me to think down about myself or think about the situation differently. But definitely at the beginning I was like, I would bite back and I'd be like, oh, like warrior back at them and start little arguments. And then I've learnt over the years just to not give it attention. Like a lot of these people, they're looking for that. They're looking for you, like to upset you, get attention from you. And if you give that, that's what they want and they're going to keep going. So if you just ignore it and just like forget about it, like half the time it's like they're just looking for attention and it's not really serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of empathy for those people. If you're that type of person, your life is clearly not in the place that you want it to be. And it's look, for all the good that social media has, we've got to, as a culture, as a society, to really figure out how to do it right and protect each other. And yes, especially even during times like this, it's like so heated.
Yeah,
like I think things have never been so divisive, and it's the ability for everyone to have an opinion at scale, which causes so many issues and dramas, which we never had before. I suppose social media and the internet. So yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, more eyes lurking.
Yeah. You can't say one thing wrong or it can get spun the wrong way and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Or even worse, you can't say the right thing and then someone take it out of context or someone who just doesn't agree with it. Like we haven't learned how to actually like agree to disagree in rational friendly manner. So it's sad, man.
It's definitely hard.
Do you feel a lot of pressure when you put content out there or just like on your stories?
Well, yeah, I definitely do. Like sometimes you put something out there and you're like, oh, how is this like what kind of reaction am I going to get about like from this? And there's definitely good parts about it. You learn like, okay, a different perspective. I should have thought of it like that. And you have to grow from it and listen to people's opinions, but also realize that not everyone is ever going to agree with what you do. And if you feel like you're doing the right thing, stand by what you believe is good. Yeah. But just definitely realize that not everyone's going to agree with you and you're always going to do the wrong thing in someone's eyes. So just don't take it too to heart.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, sorry, we've got a bit off track.
Getting deep.
Back into Flight or Fright.
Lift it up.
So what's the craziest, I'm talking absolute crazy, do not hold back, the crazy, besides getting like tackled down to the floor with a goon bag.
That's not a travel story.
I had to bring that up. It's not even a travel.
She threw
No
me
one
under
will
the
have
bus.
context on that. Oh no, they will
They
because
will.
this podcast is coming afterwards, won't they?
Yeah,
So you got to listen to episode 6 in order to know
find
what
out.
that is about.
Yeah, no, don't listen. If you haven't, don't. Ellie threw me under the bus.
I was like, where can I bring it
You
in?
trolls and haters will be back. This girl had
dirt on
goon
her.
as a teenager. Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, craziest story.
Why you've done traveling.
So I've talked about one previously on a podcast, so I won't go too much into that, but I got spiked in Paris. My drink spiked. So that was a pretty crazy experience. But more for like a travel one, we were in Rio a couple of years ago and we got invited to stay in this like luxury house, and we're like, oh wow, like it's really beautiful. Yeah. We knew that Rio is a bit of a dangerous place, but we were like, oh, it's like a beautiful, nice big house. Like it's going to be in a nice area. Didn't research. And we'd stay there for a couple of nights, and like even at the nighttime being like venturing around the streets, going to restaurants, going to bars, not being at all careful with like phones out, expensive handbags, expensive watches, like didn't think twice about any of that kind of thing. Because we're like, oh, we're just in like a nice area or whatever. And then a couple of days later, we met this guy that lived there, and he's like, oh, I'll come pick you up and I'll take you out shooting for the day. I'll take you to some cool spots. And then we told him where we're
Sorry.
shooting photos.
When I'm like shooting, yeah, I'm like, what? Sorry, did I miss
Excuse
something?
me, when in Rio. So we went out to take photos with him, and when we told him where we were staying,
Caleb's done for the
I'm
podcast.
lost. I'm
He's
gone.
turning red.
It's only funny because we had our Mexican story we're talking about just before this. I know obviously Rio's a different country, but anyway, go on.
and he's like, oh, to pick you up, I'm going to have to wait to get this car. And we're like, oh, why? And he's like, oh, I need a bulletproof car to come pick you up.
What?
And we're like, excuse me?
For shooting?
That's
for
a
what?
thing? We're like, he's like, oh, you're in really dangerous area. I don't want to drive. I don't feel safe driving to pick you up from there without a bulletproof car. And we were like, oh, wow. Like, this is actually things. So he came and picked us up. And when we were with him for the whole day, he was telling us, he's like, you know where you are? You're right between two, what are they?
Cartels?
Favelas.
Yeah, okay. The slums.
Yeah, like those kind
Ah.
of. So they basically, we were in the middle of two, and he's like, it's very common that area they have gun shoot-offs between them. They'll meet in the middle and shoot off like they had the war. And he's like, you're in a really unsafe area. There's so much crime, street crime. We're like, oh, we've just been like walking down the street late at night to like a bar to get a drink and to dinner. And he's like, like, you could just see him just like, oh, you're kidding. And he's like, no, you can't stay there anymore. Like, you need to get out of there. You need to stay in another hotel. Like, get out of there. And was like he was really concerned. And then we were like, oh, wow. Like, I guess we should be kind of worried. So then we started like looking up the area, and like straight away, most dangerous areas in Rio. And it was like, bang, the neighborhood we were in. We're like, oh, cool. So then we ended up, so the place we were staying at, we were actually doing like a collaboration, Jack was, to stay there and doing some promotion for them. And then we said to them, hey, we're not going to stay any longer. We're actually going to go stay in this hotel. And I'm not going to be able to follow through with the post that I said. It's a very dangerous area. I don't feel comfortable telling my audience to go stay in your house. And he took it really wrong and was really angry and was basically saying to Jack, like, I'm going to take you to the media. You took us, like, you've taken advantage of us. You've done this. And it turned really nasty. And we were like, I'm sorry, you need to see it from our side. Like, this is one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Rio. We cannot be responsible for promoting our followers to come to this area and stay in this house.
Yeah, was Jack doing a collaboration with the local prison or what? What was it? Don't say that you'll get another legal lawsuit or something from them. But that's crazy. Wow.
So that was a pretty crazy story.
That's intense.
That is intense.
Luckily nothing happened, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Goodness.
you have to research.
Yeah, maybe
We were
Google
just like,
next.
nice villa, it'll be fine.
What's this Airbnb rating? So what's the weirdest food you've eaten?
Weirdest food. So in all the years of my travels, I've basically been vegetarian, so I haven't been, to me, what's weird is like the animals they eat. So I haven't really experimented with eating weird things in weird countries. I would say Cuba was quite a tough place to eat. And like I did have some okay food in Havana, but outside of there, I wouldn't say it's like somewhere I would go back for their food. It was like beans and rice and just a bit.
I spent some time in Havana in 2018 and I know, like, as soon as you get the plate, it's always the same plate and meal. Like they don't do decorative meals.
Yeah, like it's not delicate.
It's like, here's your staple, here's your staple, here's your staple.
And it's quite like it's quite plain and
yeah.
And I was vegetarian then as well. I ate fish, but yeah, there wasn't many options.
Yeah, I remember
lots of potatoes.
I remember thinking when I was there, well, I came here for the 1950s feel, so I might as well eat like I'm in the 1950s.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, an amazing place, but yeah, don't go there to eat your heart out because it's not the spot for it.
Exactly.
All right, you probably get this question all the time, actually, but what's the craziest thing you've done to get the pick?
Okay, we've done a lot of crazy things, and most of them they probably come back to cliff sides and hanging off balconies. We had quite a reputation for doing some really dangerous things, and we've definitely chilled out on it. But a few like balconies, there's one Labua hotel in Bangkok, and we were jumping from balcony to balcony to get to the next one. Like there's probably even people in that room, like probably jumping onto someone else's balcony so that we could be a balcony apart to shoot each other. This is me and my partner. And going from balcony to balcony, you're like floors in the sky. Looking down, I'd be like, oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
Whoa.
And you're climbing, and then they're not like joined, so they're like little half circles. Goodness. And there's like a gap between them, and you're going from balcony to balcony. Oh, I feel sick thinking about it.
If you didn't put hashtag park hour, then parkour. How's it, park hour? Parkour. Yeah, then it's a travesty. Yeah.
And then there was definitely some cliff sides, like in Zante in Zakynthos in Greece. This one cliffside over Shipwreck Beach is so beautiful but so dangerous and so scary. It's like a cliffside of all rolling stones, and we were all trying to get to the most unreal epic spot to be basically on the edge of the cliff, and then someone's got to be at a certain angle to get the picture of you guys hanging your feet off, and you are so high. Like, oh, and it was me. Ellie was there as well. She was doing it, and my friend Michelle, and I just remember being like, oh, I feel sick just the thought of someone just making one wrong slip. And it's like, it's so dangerous, but you're like, I really want this photo.
You got it right.
Yeah, we got it. Still here today. We're all okay. But it's dangerous. And yeah.
No protection gear.
No. No harness.
That's cool.
Well, let's pause the podcast for a second. Just a quick announcement. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning into the hashtag WHODIS podcast so far. Just a quick reminder, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes, and don't forget to share it with your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo, along with a whole lot of fun.
All right, so moving on, we got our favourite all-time segment, Spirulina Shots. For those that listened to episode 6, you know the drill with Ellie. This time we've got Lauren on board doing the exact same thing. It's Spirulina Shots multiplied. That's what Meg has christened the segment with. And it's called multiplied because Ellie and Lauren, who we have on at the moment, they're identical twins. Mm-hmm. And we thought, what better way to do Spirulina Shots than ask them questions about each other? And they have to guess it right. And look, we thought in the last episode that we gave hard questions, like tough questions, and that we'd win easily. And then I got ravaged. You didn't even do anything. 5 questions. What was it? 4 questions? 5? You had to do 1.
I did 1, yeah.
Okay, so I had to do 3 Spirulina shots. So look, I'm going to do question 1. You're going to do 2 and 3, just so I can get some evenness in this. How it works, guys, as I said, we're going to ask a question. If Lauren gets it right, the answer, then we do the Spirulina shot. If Lauren gets it wrong, then she does it. And I said this in the first episode, like identical twins made the questions hard. We expect you to know what Ellie did on like December 3rd, 2003. That's how tough we thought it was, but it wasn't tough. It's so easy. So, spirulina, quick rundown. Say it every episode. Most badass superfood on the planet. Very, very nutrient dense. That's the upside. The downside is it tastes like creek when you add water to it. It tastes like creek water. We've got spirulina shots here with an ungodly amount of spirulina and very, very little water. So chugging it down, it's going to taste like a fish pond. So if you want the most badass superfood on the planet, you don't have to use a lot of it, just a tiny little amount, far less than what we're putting in, and you can put it in a smoothie. You won't be able to taste it, and you'll absolutely kick ass in your day. So, first question. Are you ready, Lauren?
I'm ready.
Do you reckon you'll get like more than Ellie did? More than 4?
I hope
all
so.
Of them? Ooh.
I reckon
Depends
they
how
cheated.
honestly she answered.
I still think they cheated. It was just so good.
They had that telepathic moment, so we'll never know.
All right, we'll see how we go. So, if Ellie could only take one food to a deserted island, what would it be?
One food. Oh. Can I have a hint? Like, is it like a naughty thing?
No.
I want to know if it's naughty.
I just had 3
is it like a
spirulina
meal
shots.
or is it like one certain thing? Ooh.
Not telling you. Screw that.
One food. Okay, I'm thinking it's either an avocado or an avocado toast. Can if either of them are it, I kind of get it though. Same food.
No, you gotta. I don't even know if it's avocado, but you got to be able to kind of run with one of them.
Avocado.
You got to show
toast.
the camera, don't you?
Oh, I didn't show the camera.
Do I hide?
All right, so let's. Thank you so much. I nearly stuffed that up. So let's show the camera the answer.
Have they seen it?
All right.
Yeah.
So you're down to, could be anything on the planet, but you're down to avocado and avocado toast. Which one for a spirulina shot?
Avocado toast.
You're going avocado toast?
I don't know. No, avocado.
No, you're locking your
Just
final
an
answer.
avocado is kind of boring.
Locking your final answer?
Avocado toast.
Oh, man, it was avocado toast.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh!
God.
Good job.
I feel like you're cheating, but I also,
No,
I also know
100%
you're
not.
identical twins, so you
Yeah.
should know this.
I'm like, it's got to be avocado, but she wouldn't just take one avocado. Like, that would be very boring. Like, you
That's
need it on
true,
toast.
All right, here's my fourth spirulina shot.
I really started doubting myself. I was like, what is it going to be? Like, maybe she didn't think avocado.Maybe she thought
I
like
love
ice
how
cream.
you visualized it. Like, she can't just take one avocado in her hand.
To the camera.
Oh,
And then smile.
an ice cream smile.
One down. All right,
Oh,
then
nice.
you're asking the next
Kind of
two.
hope I get one so I get my greens in.
So, what's one thing that Ellie can't live without?
Oh.
That is
I wonder
the-
what she's going to say.
That is the
Can I look
answer.
now? iPhone. Her phone. It's permanently plastered to her hand.
The answer is,
She'll
drum
say-
roll,
She'll say something really cute.
Alex.
Oh, nah. iPhone, L, liar.
She's probably upstairs being like, yeah, fooled him.
Trick question.
So
All right,
does that
you're
mean?
up. Yeah, you got a down
All
one.
right.
Ooh.
Meg got off again.
I'm taking this small one. It's my first one.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Have you ever done a straight spirulina shot?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
smart person.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah, fish water.
We had the perfect idea that we forgot about. So tequila, we're talking tequila shots in Ellie's podcast because she had black Himalayan salt,
some salt, yeah.
which, for the egg that the vegan
Oh,
egg
yeah,
that
yeah.
she created. And then we're like, well, I've got the lemon water that she made for me. All we need to do is combine the 3 with the spirulina shot. We've got our own health food tequila shots version. All right, Meg.
It'd be almost eggy then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that
The black salt?
That
Ooh.
sounds like a sick joke that definitely belongs in this game. Alrighty. Yeah, Meg, you're asking this next one.
What's the craziest thing that Ellie's ever done?
And then I'll just show you to the camera.
I got 2 options. Okay, I'm going to say both of them and then I'm going to pick one. She joined the army for a year and she ran a marathon. Now I got to pick one.
Ran a marathon.
Okay, it's not that then, your reaction.
No, I don't know. I'm just Well, you don't even know it's the other one. No, you don't even know it's the other one. Yeah.
But you weren't amazed by
Hold
it.
the suspense.
Oh, because I've listened to her on her other podcast. So.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. But I'm going to go with that because you're amazed by the marathon.
I wasn't. Sorry, Meg. I screwed you over. It's going to the other.
Tactics.
All right, I'm not reacting to anything again.
Am I doing this shot?
Yeah, definitely not me.
So did I get it?
Yeah.
It was the army?
It was the army.
Oh, it was the army. She's predictable.
So 42. Did she do a full marathon?
Yeah, full.
42
and half.
Ks.
Yeah, 42. So did Alex.
No way.
That's
And he
awesome.
completed it and he was sick.
Oh,
So he was
really?
like halfway like, you go on without me.
Right.
Oh, yummy.
Big smile at the camera. Yeah. That one came
Yeah, next
off
one
pretty
I'll give it a wash.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is Ellie's ultimate pet peeve? And 1 sec, I'll just. Always freak out that I'm not showing the camera.
This is going to
you
be
see
blank.
Okay, I can look now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't have like one particular like pet peeve, but like a lot of things annoy her. But I think one of her things is when on a menu they don't substitute the vegan option. So say it's like eggs on toast or something with a side of bacon. She chooses like
screwed.
and she's like and she wants
Don't
to like
even
swap
finish
it.
the sentence. I
I
already
know,
know.
like it doesn't even matter.
I'm doing the shot.
Did I get it? That's her
Having
thing.
to pay
That's her
extra
thing.
for subs when you remove eggs or dairy on breakfast menu.
Oh my
For
gosh.
someone who doesn't have dairy myself, and I can't remember the last time I had an egg, I can definitely agree with that as well.
Oh, you know what she's going through.
Oh,
She gets sometimes she's just
it's
walked
like
out.
I'm saving your business money, so
So just give me a side of avocado.
just substitute
Yeah.
substitute avocado for a bloody bit of cheese.
It'd be a bit crazy not to find like a dairy alternative these days. There's like hemp milk, macadamia milk.
There's
like,
every milk.
Like everything.
But when you travel,
Oh, yeah.
Well, the good news is this is my last one of the day. No,
Are you
five.
sure?
5. You're doing the next question.
how many are you on now?
This is 5.
I've done one. I'm like, oh,
Champion.
yummy fish water, sushi.
Okay.
Just think of it as like sushi.
Oh, yeah.
Never having sushi
Actually,
again. That's it.
It's a little bit.
It's got a little bit of
I can-
It's got a little
yeah.
bit of. Look, I as I say, I shot spirulina. I don't put it in a smoothie. I'm not a big smoothie maker. I have Tropeaka products straight.
Oh,
and
he's
just for,
hardcore.
yeah, just for
Yeah.
efficiency. But I have it in a lot more water, so it's like you can
Not
do
this
it,
strong.
Not this strong. the poison is in the dose.
I feel like
as they
after
say.
5 shots, you should be immune to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly. Alrighty, so
Okay. The last question is if Ellie was granted one wish, what would it be?
Oh, I know what my answer for this is. I hope that she agrees on this. If she doesn't, I'm really upset. That I live in Australia, that I moved from Bali to Australia.
Was that it?
well, we got a technicality.
Oh.
Oh, you
Me,
could be,
Hold on, can I see it?
me and Oreo and Jack.
you
moved.
could be halving this Spirulina shot. For Lauren to move to Palm Beach.
Oh, yeah, same. I got it.
It's
same,
very
same,
specific,
but I want to see
though.
you do another shot.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
let's just make it a celebratory shot.
So I didn't get it. You just want me to shot again.
Oh God, I don't know. just do the shot
Just
just
do
for our
it.
entertainment.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Meg takes the shot too easy, so
Yeah.
you need more of a reaction.
Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You got smile for the
some-
camera. Smile for the camera. Nah, up to you this one. Lovely.
Okay, so you've traveled the world. Actually, how many countries have you been to now over those 8 years?
Ooh, I don't actually know. Maybe
Ooh.
60 something. It's
Wow.
actually like when I've counted it up, it's actually not a crazy amount of countries, but we've done a lot of repetition. Like we go to a lot of places. Like every summer we go to Italy and Greece and England, and like it's like always the same classic places.
Yeah.
a lot.
Nice.
60 something still good.
I guess with all of like your experience, what sort of like we want to know what your travel essentials are. So it's a bit of like an FYI for all of the listeners out there. So yeah, we're just gonna ask you like a bunch of questions about your traveling necessities, really.
Okay.
So tell us what your 3 must-haves are to take on a long haul.
Noise cancelling headphones, always. And then I think a really good thing to bring with you is a change of outfit. I think changing outfit halfway, if you have a stopover or even on the flight, it just makes you feel so much fresher if you arrive in the country and you're in a new outfit. And then take your cosmetics and do your skincare routine and brush your teeth. So if you brush your teeth, do the full routine and moisturizing, you feel fresh and like you haven't traveled as far as you have.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
That's good. What advice would you give someone if they're doing their first solo adventure?
Solo. I haven't really done much solo. I've always been with a friend or a partner, but I think if it's your first time and you're solo, if you're a little bit nervous, I would probably recommend joining one of those group trips. You know, you can do like the young, fun ones, like the
Kentucky and stuff. Yeah.
I think if you're looking to just go meet some people, have some fun, I think they're a great way to do it in a way that's all organized, it's safe, and you're going to meet people.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not really something I would feel like doing right now.
My thing about those is like it's always hard to anticipate. Like if you get there and the group's not like your vibe, and then you're stuck with them.
But then you hear
So
other people say
it's
that
a
they
bit
like met friends for life on trips like that.
Exactly. So I guess you just gotta like
I
cross your fingers.
think anyone on a Kentucky trip, their vibe is drinking, and
Yeah.
so they're
That's
gonna
true.
meet their
you
vibe and not
want to
remember
be
the
wanting
trip.
to have some fun. But there is other group trips that aren't necessarily party ones. Like you can join some other ones that are more like adventure. They might be like hiking ones, or like, you know, you don't have to do the classic European get drunk tour that most Australians do.
So what are your like top tips for exploring a new country? So we've learnt to Google places.
Yeah, do some
before
research. I think, research is really important. I used to always find these really nice fact sheets on Pinterest. If I looked up a location, they come up like an infograph, and they would tell you like tips about the currency, cultural things, like what's the sensitivity, like things you shouldn't do, how you should dress. And they're just like a quick, nice, easy information guide, because I've definitely made some mistakes in the past where I haven't researched enough, gotten to a location and probably not dressed 100% appropriately, or like just, you know, little things like that where you've been like, oh, I think it's fine. Like, I think it's fine to wear this. And then when you like speak to somebody, they might be like, oh no, like you probably shouldn't when you're in this area, or, you know, like things like don't pose in front of a mosque. And like, as a tourist, I had no idea until somebody told me you shouldn't pose in front of them. And I was like, oh, okay. So I think in terms of being culturally sensitive, do a little bit of research. I think it goes a long way to just, you know, respect different people.
Nice. And what advice would you give someone who wants to, so many aspiring travel influencers out there, what advice would you give them in terms of starting a career in travel besides not starting during COVID?
Yeah, it's an awkward time to give this advice.
Yeah.
I think with being a travel influencer, you have to really love it. You have to have the passion, because as glamorous it looks really glamorous on the outside, but in reality there is some moments that are not so glamorous. Things go wrong, it's stressful, you're tired, you might end up having a really big argument with your boyfriend. It might look like we're just traveling around the world, the best of friends all the time, but you're under stressful situations. So you need to be loving it. There's going to be a lot of early mornings or sacrificing your nice dinners for being in a spot for sunset. So it definitely comes with some sacrifice of the early mornings and how much work. I think what people don't realize is how much work goes into it. Like it's very different to just going on a holiday and enjoying and being in a spot to actually being there and taking pictures and it being a job where you are under pressure to perform, get certain photos and content. So you have to really love it because it's going to take a bit of the joy out of traveling. That's inevitable when you're doing it for work. It becomes, more like you're doing business. So you've got to be really professional and you're under a lot of pressure and stress. But I think if you love it and you love to travel and you're like ready to sacrifice, I think just go for it and really learn how to take really nice pictures, because that's what being a travel influencer is about, is having beautiful images and telling really nice stories or telling good experiences and sharing. How you share that message and that story is really important. It's obviously a very competitive industry, but it doesn't mean that you can't make it today. Like if you can find a way to show a new side or do something unique that's going to stand out, that's super important now, especially when it's so competitive and everyone wants to be a travel influencer. But I think it's 100% possible. And if you love it, then just go for it. Yeah. Don't quit your dream. I had people around me telling me it's never going to happen. Like, give up now, you're going to be back in your job.
Are they still your friends?
Yeah. Not. No. So, chase your dreams.
Yeah, I love that. I love
100%.
That so much. Yeah, it's very close to my heart as well with starting Tropeaka. So
yeah.
Really cool. Where would you want to travel to where you haven't? Well, tell me where you want to travel to where you haven't. You said you've been to about 60 countries. What's your... Yeah, what country would you like to go to that you haven't been to? And also tell me where you want to travel after COVID as well.
I want to go to more Scandinavian countries. So I wanted to go to like Sweden and then up further north to like Iceland, Norway. I haven't been to a lot of those kind of colder countries. Whenever I'd go to Europe, it'd be like summer. I'd be like, let's just go to the summer locations. Yeah. And then I really want to explore more of Africa. I want to do more of South Africa. I've only really been to Cape Town for a few days. So definitely that area of the world. Obviously there's so many more places in South America I haven't been to that I would love to. But afterwards, it's hard to say where we'd go first after, because like it's been so long since we've traveled. We keep talking about going to like a city, like maybe like an Asian city like Japan or Korea, just because we want that real crazy city feeling. But maybe I'll just want to go to a tropical island.
Oh, you're pretty close with Gold Coast so far.
Yeah. Is there anywhere in Australia that you actually haven't been?
Tasmania. I really want to go to... I have. You know where else I haven't explored that's actually really high on my list? New Zealand. I've been before, but only like as a stop. Like it was a job, so we were there for a couple of days. Didn't really get to explore or do anything fun and beautiful. So I really want to do New Zealand and Tasmania. They're my two kind of like mountainous, cold places around here.
Yeah. Would you choose summer over winter or winter over summer?
Typically, I choose summer destinations, but I did a trip to Finland a couple of years ago and it was one of my favorite trips I've ever done because it was so different. It was in February. It was that Christmas, like going into igloos, riding on, like doing the little reindeer sled and
Northern Lights,
doing gingerbread, staying in like those little igloo hotels, glass ones. Oh, every time I talk about it, I just like get all warm and fuzzy, like, I loved it so much. We went with Ellie and Alex as well, so it was like a little family trip. And it just, I think as a kid, we grew up watching Christmas movies where they were like snowmen in the snow. And that's not a reality as an Australian. So when I was there, I felt like I was living like my fairy tale as a child in like Santa's land.
Wow.
And I think that's why it was so special and felt so unique.
Yeah, nice. Well, look, we're pretty close to finishing here with this podcast. It's gone so quickly, but we've got some final questions, and we can't have you leave without asking you this all-important question. You're a big fan of Tropeaka,
yes.
And I mean, you're doing obviously less traveling, but you even we're talking before about how you even had it in Bali, and you took it back home and whatnot, and so it's a very obviously convenient product to have on the run, and so are smoothies. So what's your kind of go-to smoothie? If you were traveling as well, would you change things up? Like how would you, what would be your go-to Tropeaka smoothie?
My go-to is the original smoothie that I tried when I first tried the Tropeaka products is the caramel banana smoothie.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was the caramel protein with the banana milk, like oat milk, and then some ice. And if I'm wanting to make it a bit sweeter, I'll put a date in. It is so simple, It's so yum. And literally when I make it, it's like a treat. Like I'm like, ooh. And it's like, it's so healthy, but you feel like you're having like a little afternoon treat or something.
Yeah.
It's so yum. So that's definitely my go-to smoothie now. Like if I'm wanting to pick me up, I'm like, yep. And then if I just add that to anything I like to make, just add the caramel protein and it's guaranteed to taste good.
Yeah, big lean protein fan. The salted caramel's my favourite as well. I love it. So good. Tell us then, talk more about that, your wellness routine, not even just with nutrition, but just in general. I know you obviously in Bali, you're getting plenty of vitamin D and you love your trips on the beach, and obviously back here in the Gold Coast, it's the same. But do you have a bit of a wellness routine that you could share with us?
I'm very into fitness, as a lot of my community would know. I love to exercise. So a typical day for me kind of revolves around my morning routine, and it's pretty well the same every day. I intermittent fast, so I'm not like strict, but first thing in the morning that I like to have is like I'll have coffee to start the day, and then I've been having the Body Bloom every morning, and that's my way of getting like a really big amount of water first thing in the morning when I wake up. I don't want to just scull water. I'm like, no, I'll just drink like a black coffee. So that's a good way to really get heaps of water in. And then I usually go to the gym, and when I'm in Bali, I can spend anywhere between 1 to 3 hours at the gym, and that's not just like working out for 3 hours. Like I see my friends there. It's like a really big part of my day-to-day life, and same here in Australia as well. I do it in a very social aspect, go to workout classes with friends. And then I would also incorporate the spa, so doing the hot and cold sauna to ice bath. So that's fitness is a huge part of my day-to-day life, and I would exercise nearly every day, whether it's just walking my dog Oreo. And then next up, where I love to have a smoothie is kind of my go-to morning. And obviously I'm having the protein in the smoothie, or I'll make oats and put protein in those as well, make my protein oats. So it's like my mornings quite revolve around, being outside, getting some fresh air, being active, and having a healthy start to the day. Because if I have a healthy start, I feel like the rest of the day just follows along.
Yeah, sets you up for the day.
Sets me up, yeah.
But how do you stay on track with, like, I guess, do you have a fitness routine or anything when you're actually traveling? How does that fit in? When
I'm traveling, it's not as strict, like especially if I'm on a job, like majority of your hours are spent either shooting, editing, getting up for sunrise, doing your hair, makeup. So it's like, it can be hard, but definitely over the last couple of years, I've tried to really incorporate keeping fit and healthy while I'm traveling more and more, because I know how much better it makes me feel. Whether if I just go on a trip for 2 weeks, and I'm traveling like every month for 2 of the weeks most of the time. If you just keep going back and acting as though you're on a holiday each time, like it can make you feel really tired and unwell. So definitely part of my wellness routine is getting sleep in. I think that's super important. Like I will sacrifice sleeping in longer so that I can get my sleep. And that's when I'm in a routine. That's when I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
good.
But having the balance of, I think in life it's having the balance, like, still being able to have a bit of fun and it not being like the thing that rules your life. It's not like, oh, this is all I do. You have a balance, so you can still go out, have fun with friends, have some drinks, but also a good balance of eating well, exercising, doing things that make you feel good.
Yeah, 100%.
Eating well.
I mean, that's part of the mental health as well that comes with social and community and having fun with friends. So I love that so much. What last question. Let's talk like post-COVID, what's your future goals and aspirations with your career, your accounts?
Yep.
Are you inspired with being an auntie that you want to be a mum yourself?
Big question.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So before it all kind of hit off, we were starting to make our plans to actually, this is kind of a bit of a spoiler alert, so your audience are getting a spoiler. We were actually starting to make the plans to base out of Australia. So to do that, we have our dog Oreo in Bali. We can't just whip him on a plane and bring him to Australia from Indonesia. So we were starting to plan to move to Europe for like 6 months or to a year and see out his quarantine there, because he has to live in a non-rabies country for a certain amount of time before you can even apply to bring him into Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a big process and he's very important to us. So we were prepared to do that. And it was also going to be a fun new thing to like be in another new city, be in Europe. and then make our way to living out of Australia, basing here again. So hopefully that'll be like one of our plans when it all ends, is starting to make that process. But then business-wise, we are launching a video editing app. So that's
wow.
yeah,
How cool is that?
that's also a little spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Throw that
we're
one in
getting
there
all
too.
the juicy details.
So we're in the final processes of putting together a video editing app, which we think is going to be really good, and we're super excited. So we're hoping that becomes our new thing that we're so concentrated on, our next big project that we're known for. So that'll really inspire us to keep creating as well and traveling more, so that we can, use our app and be getting all these beautiful videos and capturing it all around the world. And then my partner's starting a clothing brand, and I'm thinking about the same sort of thing of starting my own kind of brand that I can let off my creativity through having something that's cool. Physical.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, a lot of what I do is online kind of presence. So I'd like to have something that's a bit more physically create a product.
Yeah. Ooh,
as you would know,
love
it must
it.
feel very...
For sure.
Very
Well,
exciting.
we'll get you, as soon as we launch that, we'll get you back on the podcast. We'll have the items right in front of you. We'll get to spruik that. But yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I mean, we just finished with Ellie, and we're like, Ellie, is there anything you don't do? And now Lauren's just come with launch an app, going around the world so I can get my dog here. Video editing. And hey, guess what? I'm also going to launch some clothing line. Plus doing everything else I do. You two are...
Plus going to the gym for 3 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. You two are incredible sisters, and obviously as well Jack himself. And it's amazing. So... tell everyone where they can find you online, and tell everyone about your presets as well.
Yeah.
And
So you can find me on Instagram as my main channel as Gypsy _Lust. And then I'm now on YouTube. That's been a new little venture of mine, so that I could open up and share more of my life with everyone. And then if you're looking at our presets, which is our photo editing filters, if you're not familiar with presets, they are under doyoutravelpresets.com. And it's basically filters or presets to edit your pictures for mobile or desktop.
Amazing.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much for, coming here, for us coming here. We're definitely super grateful to have you here. Just caught you. So, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me on here. It was super fun, and I got to have my first Spirulina shot.
Ooh,
too. Got my greens in. I'm feeling good. Feeling pumped.
here's to many more into the future. Lauren, we truly appreciate you being part of Team Tropeaka, and so grateful to have you as part of the family. And thank you for having being on the podcast, and
thank you for having me and
to...
including me in your family. It's really an honor.
Thank you so much. All right, well, guys, we'll see you for episode 8.
Yeah,
Take care.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Just a reminder before you leave, thank you so much again for tuning into the #WHODIS podcast so far. Remember to hit that subscribe button right now so don't miss out on any future episodes, and also remember to share it with all of your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo with a whole lot of fun.